Today, I'll be speaking to you about my Shakespeare story and also how I believe that Shakespeare is still relevant to today's teenage era. And my Shakespeare story began when I was in 9th grade. I had recently arrived from the Dominican Republic in the Caribbean when I was 11 years old. I was a 7th grader. I didn't know any English, so I struggled to make grades in my classes and learning and keeping up with my classmates. I started hitting the library. I read books and books and more books all throughout the years. In 2 years, I learned English and I was proficient and advanced, even more advanced than my other United States students that were born here. When I became a 9th grader and I went to Bell Multicultural High School, I started reading Macbeth with the book club. The language of Shakespeare amazed me. It mesmerized me. I was so intrigued by how the language had changed in so many years and how people could still read this and understand it and make ideas out of it. I decided that I was still going to keep reading Shakespeare, that I was going to be a fan of his. So I kept reading Macbeth. I came out of my shell and started speaking to other students about it. We were learning together. We were learning words, we were learning about feelings and what happened in these stories together. When I became a 10th grader, we read Julius Caesar. We were learning about friendship. Everybody was interested in the story and they didn't even really know who Shakespeare was yet. When I was in 11th grade, I applied to the Lily McKee Fellowship here at the Folger Library, and I got accepted in the fall of my 11th grade year. I was excited. The classes began. It was a rigorous course. We read As You Like It, Pericles, Hamlet, and we also read the sonnets. We went to multiple plays here in the Folger Library, and it was amazing, to say the least. We met a lot of experts, and we learned a lot about ourselves, how Shakespeare was still relevant to today's society. At school, meanwhile, in my 12th grade AP English class, we were reading Othello. Then we watched Othello in this spring, and we had a workshop where statements were posed such as, if your friend told you your girlfriend or boyfriend was being unloyal to you, who would you believe? This was answered with multiple opinions from my classmates, and they were using evidence from their own lives. They didn't know they were talking about Shakespeare. Then when the teacher said, well, this is what happened in Othello, he decided to trust his friend instead of his lover. Shakespeare is still relevant today because he talks about what makes us humans, our feelings, our relationships to others, who we choose to believe, who we choose not to trust, who we rely on, who we grieve. Shakespeare would still remain relevant in 400 more years because he speaks about humanity, and his stories will always be relevant. Thank you.